Welcome to Heart Magic Wisdom. Today I want to talk about the idea of preparing yourself for what happens after your physical body dies. You can prepare immediately before it. You're lying on your deathbed and maybe you're old and you're going to die. And then you can come to some sort of internal peace maybe. And that's one thing. But you can also prepare earlier. For example, some people suddenly get an illness. And when you get the illness and you have good habits, it may be very easy to recover from the illness. And if you have very bad habits and you get the illness, now it's very hard. And the thing that drags us down the most here and probably in the afterlife realm is fear and shame and feeling unworthy. And just general types of dramas that we play in our heads. There is this famous near-death experience report of Howard Storm, and through a series of events, he was out of his body, and he got to a really hellish realm. And there, he was screaming for help, and an angel appeared and took him away. Like they flew out of the very dark situation into better and better realms. And while they were flying, Howard Storm thought, well, this is too good for me. I have to go back. And he told the angel he needs to go back. He doesn't deserve this because he thinks he was too much of a sinner and he was just overall unworthy. And in this situation, we can assume that this was actually an angel who had really good intentions. He wasn't an agent of the Matrix. But even then, Howard Storm was in no condition to judge the situation. He was so preoccupied with his drama in his own head of whether he was worthy or unworthy, he couldn't even look at the situation. And I think this is what happens a lot of times. It happens here and it probably happens in the afterlife. You are not here, you are 2 steps removed from here in the story that you tell yourself in your head. And there is this story from Alan Watts about archery and how you cannot really hit the bear if you first think about shooting and then you shoot. It has to become one motion where you shoot while you want to shoot and not 1 second later. This is an analogy to being in the moment, and this is something we have to train. We have to train to be in the moment, and we need to do it here. And because if let's say the situation is some sort of an ambush in the afterlife and we didn't train it here, now we are at the huge disadvantage. It's like the situation with the illness where somebody already has bad habits. Now he encounters the illness and he can't meditate, he can't make peace with the story, he can't look for his best options, he falls into the old patterns, he's stuck in his ways, he's not flexible. And we need to train this ability to be flexible, to always have another trick up our sleeve. Don't position yourself in a way that you're unflexible and you can't move. Don't tell somebody, well, this is exactly where I stand and I won't move from here. Because this is the worst attitude. A much better attitude is to say, well, this is my current standpoint and it's subject to change. And you always have to return to your own groundedness. What do you think? Sometimes you hear people, they go to a job interview and then after you ask them how it went and they say, well, I think they liked me. And it's so interesting that people go to this perspective first. They don't start with, well, I liked them for this and this reason, and I disliked them for this and this reason. It's ingrained in us to think about what others think first But that's the wrong way. We have to think about what we think. We have to make ourselves the center point of the conversation, because everything else makes no sense. And for example, let's say in an argument, someone is rude to you, and many people, they react by saying, well, you're an idiot, why are you like this? And it's making the other person the center point. But you have to make yourself the center point. You have to say, I don't like when you talk to me this way. And that's all you have to say. There is no additional benefit in talking about what the other person is or is not. So it's this weird thing where we move our center point away, and we're trained here on planet Earth to move the center point away, and we need to put the center point back to what we think, what we want, what we like, and specifically make it think about the things that we like, because this is where we have to move. We have to move in the direction that we like. All right, I think this was the video. Thank you everybody for watching. Please let me know what you think, and see you soon.